Alright. So, I have 4 guitars with 4 different styles of pickup. And the microphone on this camera seems to pick up how they sound pretty well. So I'm just gonna play them all a little bit with just the bridge pickup. And see how different they sound. I think 3 of them sound really good and 1 sounds bad. But yeah, we'll see what it's like. Three of these will be single pickups. 1 will be a humbucker, because I am kind of eliminating humbuckers. And kind of, so we'll see, if I'm nuts or not. This used to have PAFs in it. It now has PAF sized P90s in it. I think it sounds awesome. Way better than it used to sound. And the neat thing about this is if you play both of these pickups, they're reverse wound and cancel each other out, which is kind of cool. So you can have a giant humbucker with these two if you turn them both on at the same time. My problem with humbuckers is they sound like there's a blanket over them compared to what P90s are. And P90s are just, I think, the oldest, but they're large single pickups. Whereas like the Fender has small single pickups. And we'll get to hear what they all sound like. Is the PAF size P90 on the bridge. And the bridge I'm just using the bridge because I like the way it sounds by itself better too, because similar to humbuckers, when you start mixing in more pickups there, it just dulls the sound. Makes the sound dull, which, in some situations maybe that's good, or that's what you want. Alright. That is that. Now we'll try this really surprises me. I think just the little small single pickup like this even sounds better than a humbucker to me. And there's lots of comparison videos already on YouTube that if you want to hear the difference between middle pickups, back pickups, front pickups, the combinations thereof. I just want to do a bridge sound comparison between all of these 3. This one I just got. And I played it for a long time, and then the next day I picked it up to tune it, and it was still in tune after using the whammy like 3 or 4 times. That was crazy, I thought. I did have to tune it today, though. I don't mind how that sounds either. And that's just a small, these are ceramic, the Strat Affinity. I think they sound really good. Second cheapest of the Squiers. They have all kinds of cool colors, and the build quality is really good now. But it's out of adjustment when you get it. You just have to make some adjustments. Alright, now let's go back to the original. This is the original P90. And this is a 56 Les Paul Pro. Well, it's not a 50, it's a, you know, a recreation of it, the Epiphone recreation of it. This is what got me going on this whole single pickup thing, was this guitar. The way it sounded. I would play this one and play this one, and I couldn't believe how much better this sounded than that with the PAS in it. Volume down. There it comes. Oh, you gotta plug it in. So now I don't know. I screwed my knobs all up. I don't know really what they all are. That might still be the winner. Although, that one's pretty close. I'm really happy with those. Compared to what the PAF sounded like. Which is basically an early humbucker like this style of Gibson came with originally. I guess it's the first, yeah, first style humbucker. Outside of, you know, the Gretsch's humbucker, which there's a whole cool story about that, how the humbucker that's on the Gretsch actually got the patent before, so they call that a PAF because it's patent applied for, because Gretsch actually got the humbucker patent before Gibson did. And theirs is a little different yet, but I don't know if that's a road I'll ever go down. I'm just not a really good guitar player, but really like to play with cheap guitars. Now this one, we'll see, maybe it's not as bad as I think. This has a real fancy Seymour Duncan with great big, you know, it looks like a real fancy one. I don't know if it is or not. It's got great big Allen screws on it. Is it plugged in? No. But this one, neat thing about this one is the action on it makes it way easier to play than all the rest of them, because it is, I mean, I've been working on this for a really long time, but now it's actually set up correctly pretty well to where, and the action on this type of guitar is really, really tight. You don't have to push the strings down very far. But it's really easy to get them to where, you know, they'll buzz on you if you don't have it right. So a lot of people buy cheap Jacksons and they sound horrible because they're not set up right, and it's because the action's low and like your truss rod's wrong, and so yeah, the strings buzz. And there's something. It's not terrible, but it's just like there's a blank something. I just don't like the dull sound compared to the single. And I'm very much a, like, 6-string is treble, bass is bass, bass guitar is the bass. It's not a big mid-range. But I just, yeah, the single pickups are just, I don't know what you call it, sharper. And those humbuckers and this humbucker, to me, have a dull sound that those don't. Well, yeah, feel free to explain to me all the whys and whatnots of, and the whole thing with the humbucker is these, when you turn the amp on, make a humming sound, and they're a lot more likely to feed back. So, but the neat thing about this one is if you had that problem, you could turn them both on and it's like a humbucker and cancels. So, humbuckers are, I mean, you can get a better sound out of these, and if you're having feedback trouble, you can still fix that with it. So I don't see any use. I mean, I don't think I'll probably ever use humbuckers again. But there you go, we tried them all. I'm anxious to listen to it back through the microphone on the camera and see if you can tell. Later.